Okay, so basically, I just started a new class, a new online class, um, and it's some kind of introduction to programming. And so well, the programming language that they use is Python, and I've tried learning a little bit of Python before in the past, but what I'm going to do right now is try and find some extra resources to kind of help me out and in the process of learning Python. So I know there's a couple right off the bat that I can go to, but I'm going to see if I can try and find some new ones as well. So one thing is, let's see. It's called Learn Python the Hard Way. And I kind of stumbled upon this through a website called Reddit. And basically, it's a free tool, but you can actually buy like a bunch of different like physical stuff to kind of help out. And it looked totally different at the time. But typically one of the first things I do whenever I'm trying to learn something is go on Reddit and I go to try and find something like a subreddit on it. So I went to the Python subreddit. This is actually the first time that I've been to this. So, but right here on the right hand side, I've got the little, I can't even think what I'm trying to say. We've got the search bar, and actually right here, Learn Python the Hard Way is the first link up here for online books, and looks like there's a bunch of different challenges and stuff. What I want to look for is basically like a secondary or third party resource, something maybe like this that could kind of help me out alongside the class. So this one looks good. Beginner's Guide to Python. And so what I would do is this actually looks like the Python wiki. So maybe the guy that created Python or, whatever. Anyway, so this is saying new to programming, Python is easy to learn, and free. So this actually gives you quizzes and exercises, like a complete list of beginner guides. So this would be cool. Although this might be things I have to download and run inside Python itself. I don't know. See, this right here is a little bit more intimidating. But I do like how it has the quizzes and exercises. That's super useful. So anyway, so I would come over here to Reddit to try and find something useful, something like that. So I would probably bookmark that, and I would bookmark Learn Python the Hard Way. And I would probably use these two resources to kind of help me out in my class. So this used to be free, but it looks like maybe they're not trying to do that, or they're trying to get away from that. Yeah. Okay, actually, this is what I had seen before. And I made it through half the lessons, probably, before I gave up. But anyway, so I'd come here and look. Obviously, my question or my help isn't going to be something that's quick and easy to look through. So this would be where I would get started at. And if I didn't already have Python downloaded, I would come over here to download Python. And I actually don't know if I have Python downloaded on this machine, to be honest with you, but on my laptop, it's on there. So anyway, so I would get some resources, and that's kind of ultimately what I was looking for anyway, some beginning resources to kind of help me out with the class. And then of course on Reddit, you've got all these user submitted threads. What I would probably do is come over here to the top, search the links from all times, and kind of read through some of these and see what was going on. Obviously, a lot of this stuff probably isn't going to help me. Like this, for instance, I think I have on like Python 2.6 or 2.7. And 2.7 is actually what we're using for the class, so I can't really. So most of the stuff is irrelevant. So I could also look a little bit further. To the Learn Programming subreddit. And this is a pretty active subreddit. And again, on the sidebar here, we've got posting guidelines, frequently asked questions, how do I get started with programming? This would probably be something I would look at. Which programming I should start with. And we can kind of look and see that Python's here a lot. If you want to dive right into programming, head to our Getting Started page and follow the instructions for Python. So it kind of seems like Python's a good starting language. So it's good that the teacher for the course chose this one. And it seems like maybe this subreddit would also be good to kind of look through. But we've got interactive tutorials, a bunch of other resources that we can come over here and look at. So yes, I mean, eventually after all of this, I would probably just come over here to Google, and actually I would probably go to YouTube. And kind of, as you can see, I've already looked up some Python stuff, although I don't remember any of this. But look, there's even a class by Google
Hey there, Trendy 30
on Python, so that would probably be cool to watch and look at.
And this.
And essentially, I mean, that's kind of what, if I ever want to learn about anything or I ever need help, I usually come to Reddit, to be honest, and just kind of, if I can't immediately just think of whatever the subreddit would be, then I'll search for it, like, you know, site, and then whatever it is I want to look for. And you can see here, there's actually a Learn Python subreddit that I didn't see, which is good. There's also, of course, the MoneyPython subreddit. But this is kind of active. And this would be if I needed actual help on any of my code being reviewed or anything like that, it seems like, or just some ideas, that seems like that would be a good idea. There's a couple of resources, not a whole lot. But here we go. I'd probably come over here to, let's see what this is. So this one looks more like a frequently asked questions. And here are some resources that I can practice. The Codecademy is pretty cool. And you can actually see where there's 13 hours worth of course time, and there's another one too. I can't remember what it's called that I use a lot, or I used to. But anyway, so it looks like I'm at 10 minutes for the video, and that's honestly probably going to be it. I mean, I use Reddit for everything, and if I can't find it on Reddit, I search Google for something like that, or just learn. Just kind of search through here. There's a ton of different Codecademy, that's what I've already been to. LearnPython.org. This looks pretty basic right here. I don't know about this stuff though. This is pretty much as far as I've ever gotten, which didn't really help me out a whole lot, to be honest with you. Documentation guide for Python 2.7. There's I think probably that wiki that that wiki that we were brought to before. But that's about it. YouTube is a good one. Reddit's good. Any kind of site that's, you know, like any kind of like news aggregate site or anything like that. Almost like a forum is going to be good for, I think, getting help. So that's going to wrap it up for this.